Well, hello everyone. I have another review from TIFF 2024. I'm exhausted, but I'm pushing through it. But last night I got out of Mike Leigh's newest film, Hard Truths. Mike Leigh, known for his work that studies human behavior, dabbling lately in period films like Mr. Turner or Waterloo, and he returns to tackle another story involving kind of fractured family dynamics, which puts people under a microscope to show their complexities and their internal struggles, often in very amusing ways. So for those tapped into the awards conversation, there's a bit of speculation about this film. It's been rumored to be rejected at film festivals like Cannes and Venice. However, Hard Truths has premiered, and I'm here to announce that though it's not like top tier Mike Leigh, Hard Truths is very good Mike Leigh and features an extraordinary performance from Marianne Jean-Baptiste. So for those who don't know what Hard Truths is, it's an ensemble film centering around Pansy, a Londoner who's constantly on the verge of a mental breakdown, played by Marianne Jean-Baptiste. So she's incredibly angry and she's constantly snapping at anyone who tries to engage with her, whether it be her family or even strangers. Like many of her members of her family, our patience to understanding and empathizing with this character starts to wear thin. It's a challenge. I mean, she is truly very exhausting to be around. And even though what she says is occasionally very hilarious, how she treats people becomes very taxing to watch. However, Mike Leigh and his kind of slowish pace that he likes to work at peels the layers on this character, and slowly we start to understand Pansy. And before you know it, you start gaining empathy for her. And I think that's due to Marianne Jean-Baptiste's incredible balancing act type of performance that requires her to be funny, unbearable, but then also heart-wrenching. Watching her be able to pull off all of that was pretty incredible to watch. Hard Truths is definitely strongest, I think, when it sticks with her. Other characters within the ensemble are great. Her husband's played by David Weber, and her son is played by Truwayne Barrett. They're both fantastic, serving as Pansy's favorite punching bag, but are deathly afraid to speak around her as to not wake up the beast. Michelle Austin plays Pansy's sister, and she's probably the best secondary character in this story, and is someone who, really can dish it back to Pansy and really is able to poke and prod and access those emotions that Pansy is covering up. I feel like in this film there's a few scenes with these other characters that I really don't feel amount to anything, nor am I really sure why they were included. So the film does feel a little bit at odds with itself, working best as a character study, but wanting to be an ensemble in which we learn pretty little about all the other characters. What's weird though is even though I don't know how these smaller scenes with other characters living their everyday life really fits into the bigger picture, Mike Leigh still draws you into their world somehow. Hard Truths is kind of an interesting movie. At first, it will make you laugh, and then it will make you cry, and then you'll be in suspense, hoping that everything is going to turn out okay for these characters. Cinematographer Dick Pope makes the story taking place inside kind of everyday homes looks pretty interesting. There's a nice score that becomes the identity of the film, kind of trudging through everyday life. However, the film being a chamber of sorts, the focus is on the actors and the characters. Coming off big projects like Mr. Turner and Waterloo, I think it's really nice to see Mike Leigh kind of do something very stripped down and small. Hard Truths presents a very complex, complicated, hard to grapple with character, and it doesn't provide simple answers either. It more asks questions of why people like Pansy exist to begin with. How do we navigate relationships with these people who have grown sour from a traumatic life experience? Are these relationships even worth fighting for? These are all questions that we have to kind of ask ourselves. Ultimately, I do wish that the subplots involving other characters were just fleshed out a bit more, especially when we get to one big scene where I won't ruin it, but Marianne Jean-Baptiste is with the other ensemble and she is just so incredible in it. Mike Leigh's style of observing human behavior and making everyday mundane life compelling to watch, it's still present here. And I found the film's way of making you feel something for such a prickly character really impressive. So I give Hard Truths an 8 out of 10. So let's briefly talk about awards prospects. In Mike Leigh's career, he's been nominated for 7 Academy Awards, and surprisingly, he's never won. Nominated 5 times for screenplay, twice for director. He hasn't been nominated since his last modern film in 2010. I think Marianne Jean-Baptiste is really the only shot for Best Actress, and she has a scene. But it is from Bleecker Street, and I'm a little unsure about whether it's going to be able to get that film in front of voters. Currently, I have Marianne Jean-Baptiste in, and I can see the film doing better at BAFTA, perhaps getting both Marianne Jean-Baptiste and maybe supporting actress for Michelle Austin, and screenplay maybe, potentially. But yeah, that's pretty much all I see for Oscars, but those are my thoughts on Hard Truths. I have more reviews from TIFF coming your way. Baby Girl, Saturday Night, bunch of stuff. So feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. Follow me on Twitter for immediate reactions to the films at TIFF. Links in the bio. Thanks always for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at TIFF.